Coming in via the PA news agency, Downing Street, the UK government saying that Russian plane that came down in Egypt on Saturday may well have been brought down by an explosive device. Now we can bring in our chief international correspondent, Lise Doucet, who's live with us from Cairo. And Lise, while we're still waiting for more details on those claims, it highlights how this plane crash has put Egypt right at the centre of far broader diplomatic issues.
Worst possible scenario for Egypt, Sharm el-Sheikh, of course, in southern Sinai has been regarded as one of the safer areas. It's a tourist destination that has continued to operate despite the years of instability here in Egypt, and tourism had just begun to pick up. So when we spoke to President Sisi shortly after that plane crash, he was adamant that it was propaganda from the so-called Islamic State, that they would carry out an investigation. He cautioned that it could take years, in the same way that the Pan Am disaster took years to establish. And when I pointed out to him that in this region perceptions matter more than facts often, and that many people were saying to me they just didn't believe it was technical failure, he brushed aside all of this propaganda. He said, you must wait, we must not jump to conclusions. And now, coincidentally and tragically for Egypt's reputation in terms of the tourism sector, as he arrives in Britain, this comes as an announcement from 10 Downing Street that it may have been an explosive device on the plane, and that aviation experts are now in Sharm el-Sheikh. They're checking the airport to check for the security concerns there, and to see what the security precautions are, and to see whether or not there could have been some kind of lapse in security. Now, your viewers may have known that in recent days there have been statements from the so-called Islamic State who say that attack on the Russian aircraft coincided with the one-year anniversary of the group in Sinai declaring allegiance to the so-called Islamic State. So they say they were marking that anniversary, but it wasn't clear. And I caution, we have to be very careful, because they had made this claim, there was no proof from it, and it's still not 100% clear that this is proof. But what we can say is there now is greater doubt about the theory that it was a technical problem with an aircraft that had been experiencing technical problems in the past.